If there's one secret to happiness in my life, it's taking care of the kindest creatures on earth. Sheep. I want you to meet my flock.
He was just about to say who the killer was.
The Sheep Detectives is positioned as a clever, warm-hearted mystery with a distinctly offbeat premise that blends rural calm, literary wit, and classic whodunit tension. Set on an isolated farm where routine and familiarity create a false sense of safety, the story introduces a world that feels gentle on the surface, but slowly reveals layers of curiosity and danger. The tone balances humor with suspense, presenting a mystery that is approachable yet intellectually playful, built around the idea that intelligence and perception often exist where humans least expect them. Rather than relying on spectacle, the film emphasizes observation, deduction, and character-driven storytelling, giving it a unique identity among contemporary mystery films. At the center of the story is George, portrayed by Hugh Jackman, a quiet and thoughtful shepherd whose nightly ritual becomes the narrative's emotional foundation. Every evening, George reads detective novels aloud to his flock, treating the sheep as companions rather than livestock. He assumes, with gentle affection, that the animals enjoy the sound of his voice even if they cannot understand the words. This habit reflects George's own inner world. He is a man drawn to logic, mystery, and the comfort of stories, living a simple life shaped by routine and solitude. His connection to the sheep is sincere, almost paternal, and it establishes the calm before the storm that will soon disrupt the farm. What George does not realize is that the sheep are far more perceptive than he imagines. Through repetition and exposure, they have absorbed the structure and logic of detective fiction. They recognize patterns, motives, and contradictions, slowly building an internal framework for solving problems. This quiet intelligence is never presented as magical or exaggerated. Instead, it grows naturally from listening, observing human behavior, and learning through experience. The film treats the sheep's intelligence as a humorous surprise, but also as a thoughtful commentary on underestimation and overlooked perspectives. The inciting incident arrives when a mysterious disruption shakes the farm's routine. Something goes wrong, an event that is unsettling enough to suggest intent rather than accident. The farm, once predictable, becomes a space filled with questions. Objects are out of place, routines are broken, and tensions rise among the human characters connected to the land. While the humans struggle to make sense of what has happened, the sheep immediately recognize the familiar structure of a mystery unfolding. To them, this situation resembles the stories they have heard night after night, and instinctively, they begin to think like detectives. The plot unfolds largely from the sheep's point of view, though the audience remains aware of the human side of the investigation as well. The sheep organize themselves, assigning informal roles based on temperament and strengths. Some are keen observers, others are logical thinkers, and a few rely on intuition shaped by years of quietly watching human behavior. Their investigation is methodical and surprisingly disciplined, reflecting the influence of classic detective storytelling. They follow clues, note inconsistencies, and test assumptions, all while maintaining the appearance of ordinary sheep to avoid suspicion. As the investigation deepens, the film introduces a range of human suspects connected to the farm and its surrounding community. Each suspect has plausible motives, secrets, and contradictions, allowing the mystery to develop with genuine tension. The sheep listen to conversations, observe body language, and notice details that humans overlook, such as subtle changes in routine or tone. These observations become critical pieces of evidence, reinforcing the idea that intelligence is not always loud or obvious. The sheep's silence becomes their greatest advantage. George's role in the story evolves as well. Though unaware of the sheep's true intelligence, he senses that something is different. His bond with the animals deepens as he subconsciously relies on their presence for reassurance, while the mystery escalates. Hugh Jackman's portrayal emphasizes restraint and emotional nuance, presenting George as a man whose kindness and curiosity make him a natural, if accidental, ally to the sheep's investigation. His love for detective novels becomes ironic, as the very lessons he shares unknowingly empower the true detectives of the story. Thematically, The Sheep Detectives explores perception, voice, and the limits of human assumption. By framing animals as the most rational observers, the film challenges traditional hierarchies of intelligence. It also celebrates storytelling itself, suggesting that stories have power beyond entertainment. The detective novels George reads are not merely a pastime. They become tools for understanding the world, shaping how the sheep interpret events and seek truth. This meta-narrative element gives the film intellectual depth while maintaining its accessibility. From a tonal perspective, the film carefully balances comedy and suspense. The humor arises organically from the contrast between how the sheep are perceived and what they are actually doing. There is no reliance on exaggerated slapstick or forced jokes. Instead, the comedy is subtle, driven by timing, perspective, and the quiet absurdity of sheep conducting a serious criminal investigation. This restraint allows the mystery itself to remain engaging, ensuring that the stakes feel real despite the unconventional protagonists. The cast is anchored by Hugh Jackman as George, whose performance provides emotional credibility and warmth. Supporting human characters populate the farm's ecosystem, each contributing to the mystery through their relationships, conflicts, and hidden motivations. The sheep themselves form an ensemble of distinct personalities, characterized through behavior, movement, and dialogue, rather than celebrity-driven voice recognition. This choice emphasizes character over novelty, allowing the audience to connect with the flock as individuals rather than gimmicks. Visually, the film leans into pastoral imagery that contrasts sharply with the tension of the mystery. Open fields, quiet barns, and soft, natural light create an atmosphere of calm that makes the disruption feel more jarring. As the investigation progresses, familiar spaces take on new meaning, reinforcing the idea that danger and deception can exist even in the most peaceful environments. The camera often lingers on small details, hoof marks, disturbed grass, subtle human gestures, mirroring the sheep's attention to evidence. The narrative structure follows a classic mystery arc with clear setup, rising suspicion, misdirection, and eventual revelation. Red herrings are woven into the story to challenge both the sheep and the audience, encouraging viewers to engage actively with the clues. The resolution emphasizes logic and accountability rather than spectacle, staying true to the intellectual roots of detective fiction. When the truth is finally revealed, it feels earned, grounded in the careful accumulation of observations rather than coincidence. In terms of factual positioning, The Sheep Detectives is framed as a 2026 release, aligning it with a growing trend of genre-blending films that prioritize originality and character-driven storytelling. Its concept distinguishes it from traditional family films and conventional mysteries, allowing it to appeal to a broad audience without diluting its core idea. The film's identity rests on its writing and performances rather than franchise recognition, giving it a standalone quality that feels refreshing in a crowded cinematic landscape. The release timing positions the film as a thoughtful alternative within its year, offering audiences a story that is intelligent, humorous, and emotionally grounded. Rather than chasing trends, It leans into timeless storytelling principles: curiosity, empathy, and the pursuit of truth. This approach suggests confidence in the material and respect for the audience's intelligence, qualities that often translate into lasting appeal. Trailer material for The Sheep Detectives emphasizes mood and concept rather than plot revelation. The preview introduces George's nightly reading ritual, the serene life of the farm, and the subtle shift that signals something is wrong. Quick, intriguing glimpses of the sheep observing, listening, and reacting hint at their hidden intelligence without giving away the mystery's core twists. The tone of the trailer balances warmth and intrigue, inviting viewers to lean in rather than overwhelming them with exposition. Sound design and music play a crucial role in reinforcing the film's atmosphere. Gentle, pastoral themes underscore moments of calm, while understated tension cues emerge as the investigation unfolds. The absence of heavy-handed musical signals allows scenes to breathe, encouraging viewers to focus on dialogue, movement, and detail. This restraint aligns with the film's overall philosophy of subtlety and intelligence. Ultimately, The Sheep Detectives presents itself as more than a novelty concept. It is a story about being heard, about the power of observation, and about the unexpected places where wisdom can be found. By placing the tools of detective fiction into the hooves of sheep, the film invites audiences to reconsider assumptions and pay closer attention to the world around them. Its mystery is engaging, its humor understated, and its emotional core sincere, making it a distinctive and memorable entry in the 2026 film landscape.